Too much of a good thing. I know. I love video games. I haven't played them in quite a while. There's a lot of other things that I haven't done in quite a while because I make rules for myself. I find I function better when I have guardrails up concerning certain things. And if I started playing video games for any period of time, I would probably become addicted because I have that issue as well. So I try to stay away from things like marijuana, for example. Probably become addicted, even though they say there's no addictiveness to it. I've heard that in studies. Me, it's not a good fit. Alcohol, again, another addiction that I just don't need anymore. And I had that for a little while. Food, well, there's another addiction, and that one I still struggle with, but again, that's something that I don't need to have. Video games, vaping, those sorts of things, again, all addictions. The thing is dopamine is something that's like your scoring hormone. When you get it, or when you're hunting for it, you're in the middle of the hunt, you get a big serving of dopamine. And it just continues. The more harder the drug, I was a cop for a long time. You take a stimulant like cocaine or methamphetamine. Oh my God, it's hard to recover from that. So if you've never done that, in my brain, that's something I would never even want to attempt. I don't care how beautiful the woman was. There is no way, because I know for me, I probably would never come back from that. And that should be some kind of rule you set for yourself. Now, if you're currently struggling and you think nobody's on your side, you don't know what to do, you don't know the next step to take in life, take heed. Nobody's going to come save you. Nobody's going to knock on your door and say, come with me if you want to live. It's not going to happen. But you can save yourself. You just have to figure out what it is you want. And that's the subject of today's show. Figure out what you want. And maybe not the house or the Lamborghini or the Bugatti or whatever it is that looks like some kind of material possession that you think would really set you apart and make your life wonderful. Maybe think of something a little bit bigger. So, not just the money and not just something that has to do with being worth a lot. Maybe freedom is most important. Maybe not being addicted to things is most important. Maybe being able to do whatever you want when you want to do is more important. But with all of those things, you need to establish rules for yourself. So have some rules in place. Sit down and write them out. You got to go through the exercise. If you don't go through the exercise of writing things down, working it out on paper, where you want your journey to end up, or at least the direction you want to go, and you're stuck in a particular place without any hope of moving on from there, you're going to have to sit down and have a conversation with yourself. Maybe you don't think it's a problem. And maybe everybody's telling you, yes, it's a problem. You got to change it. If you have a lot of people telling you that, first find out what their motivation is. Are they trying to hurt you? Are they telling you this because they want you to do damage to yourself? Are they jealous of you? Do they hate you? Find out. In fact, you're probably going to find out that the people that are the loudest in your life telling you to upset your current trajectory probably are doing it because they really love you. They care about you. They might not be able to express it very well, and you think that they're just henpecking you and bothering you and just wanting to knock you off your center. Maybe they love you very much. And I'll tell you, I'm at 55. It's hard to find people that actually love you so much. My parents, they're gone. They died a long time ago. You still have them. You still have people around you that love you. Don't wait until they're gone, because, folks, it can always get worse. If you think it's bad now, just continue what you're doing, and it'll get even worse if, in fact, what you're doing is harming you in some way and going against what other people are trying to tell you on what you need to be doing or need to start to be doing. Now, if they tell you to go do certain things, I would push back too. You're going to have to figure this out on your own. Sooner or later, how long are you going to wait? Think of it this way. If you had an opportunity to speak with yourself 10 years from now, so you got your 10-year in the future self coming to visit you. So mine would be 65. What would he come and say? Would he come and say, wow, Connor, I'm so glad you lost all that weight. back a few years ago, you dropped 135 pounds. That's why at 65 we are in this. Or I'm so glad you started this online thing and you started doing these videos a few years ago. I'm glad you stuck with real estate because now we're in this. I'm glad you went and got your health checked. I'm glad you're eating a certain way, lifting weights, and now we're this, this, and this. So thank you. Or is my 10 year in the future self say, oh my God, Connor, you couldn't give up the pizza? You couldn't give up the alcohol? You couldn't give up the pot? You couldn't give up the cigarettes? You couldn't stop all of these things? And look at us. Here we are in the hospital, and we're going to be here until we die. No, that's a lot. That's heavy. But life is heavy, and nobody's going to come save you. You can do it. I know you can do it. People have this wonderful ability to do things that change their lives, but it becomes uncomfortable. Don't wait until somebody says you have to. Do it before they tell you that. And I use that terminology when I talk about working out or going to the gym. A doctor didn't have to tell me to go. I figured it out before that happened. But even if somebody did tell you, you need to start. I'm Connor with Honor. Great guidance. We'll see you soon.